Back in high school, I had a buddy that was an amazingly gifted breaststroker. On a scale of 1 to 10, he was an 8 or a 9, but his freestyle ability was like a 3. Same swimmer, drastically different caliber when it came to performance. The difference is that he was just a naturally gifted breaststroker. I find that many swimmers, whether they're new or not, they don't really have a correct understanding of where their true talents lie when it comes to swimming. And that's what we're going to discuss in this video. We're going to talk about which of the 4 strokes are you naturally gifted for. I'm Lukas Siska. Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. Before we dive into the different body types for each of the 4 strokes, I want to point out that you can train and morph yourself into the desired stroke of your choosing or into the swimming goal that you have. The point of this video is to simply point out that maybe you possess certain traits that could excel at one of the 4 strokes. And by knowing those traits, you can really unleash your full potential. So the first thing we need to discuss is whether you're a natural breaststroker or not. Did you know when you put kids who are just learning how to swim, 2, 3, 4 years old into the water, and you tell them kick, don't tell them what to kick, just tell them to kick, they will naturally either kick breaststroke kick or something that looks like breaststroke kick, or something that looks like a flutter kick. And this is actually the first moment that you know this kid is a natural breaststroker or they're not. And breaststrokers are a unique breed. You have to have a special build when it comes to your knees, can go extremely inwards while your toes go extremely outwards. Now, everybody can force their legs to do this, but breaststrokers can do it to the extreme. And that's why natural breaststrokers have an edge when it comes to causing propulsion when they do a breaststroke kick. And it's interesting, in my family, I'm the oldest of 5, and I'm somebody who has more of a natural flutter kick. My sister, who's next in line, has a natural breaststroke kick. My brothers, who are twins, one has a flutter kick, one has a breaststroke kick. They're fraternal twins, by the way. And then my youngest sister, she's naturally more of a flutter kicker. So it's interesting how people get naturally categorized by their kick. If you can't do that natural breaststroke kick, it's gonna be tough for you to be a great breaststroker. You can do it. Michael Phelps is not a natural breaststroker, but he excelled at breaststroke, but he had to really increase his flexibility down there. Breaststrokers are definitely a unique breed. Some physical traits that breaststrokers possess, they have a crazy strong chest. I've seen some breaststrokers in the gym throw up some crazy numbers on the bench press. They don't necessarily have to be super tall, but they have super strong legs, and they can really push that power when they whip that kick around. Also, breaststrokers have strong shoulders, just like all swimmers do. But the chest and strong legs combined with that extreme knee bend is something that is unique to breaststroke. Let's take a look at some elite breaststrokers when it comes to how they're built. Let's take a look at Adam Peaty and Lily King, some of the best in the world right now. The good news is if you're a natural flutter kicker, you have the chance to both excel at backstroke and freestyle, both strokes that rely heavily on the flutter kick. An interesting fact over my almost 30 years of swimming is that breaststrokers, for some reason, have a unique and difficult ability to swim backstroke. Have any of you experienced the same? Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. If we look at the build of a freestyler specifically, they tend to be on the taller side, though not always, and there are exceptions to the rule of all the things we're gonna talk about. I had a pro triathlete friend of mine back in the day that was 5'6", and he could swim a 4:30-500 freestyle, which is just smoking. So that's not usually the case, but generally freestylers are on the taller side. They have the ability to hyperextend their elbows, the elite ones do, where they have double jointed elbows that can pull more water because of this. They tend to have slightly wider hips. This provides a base when it comes to rotation. And we all know that freestyle relies heavily on rotation. It also helps them have a big connection between the shoulders and the legs, and they can keep themselves in one plane a lot easier with those slightly wider hips. And of course, like all swimmers, they have powerful shoulders, strong traps, and a strong back to help excel them through the water. But if you notice, they do tend to be more on the long and lanky side. Some elite freestyle builds, you can look at guys like David Popovici, Caleb Dressel, Michael Phelps. He fits into all of these categories, and we'll talk about him at the end a little bit. And when it comes to the women, Ariana Titmus, Katie Ledecky, these are all examples of elite freestylers. Now let's take a look at backstroke specialists, the counterparts to freestylers. And by the way, did you know that if you swim a length of backstroke and then follow it up directly with a length of freestyle, you can actually feel your stroke better in freestyle? Just try it sometime, it really works. But anyways, backstrokers like freestylers, since it's very similar, tend to be on the taller side, very lanky, but if you notice, they have slightly more narrow shoulders for some reason. And this is true for a lot of elite backstrokers. Currently the world record holder, he's like that. The former world record holder, Aaron Pearsall, is like that. So if you look at them, they have slightly more narrow shoulders, though they have big, powerful lats. And that is natural because in backstroke, you have to use a strong back, and lats are huge in that. They also seem to have really strong glutes because you need to have stability in your buttocks when you're swimming backstroke. It really makes a difference. And finally, they have a really strong neck because in order to swim fast backstroke, you have to be able to stabilize your neck so that it doesn't move around to keep you going one direction really fast. And that of course can be trained. Some elite backstroke builds are Thomas Ciccone of Italy, the current world record holder, as well as Regan Smith. Finally, let's look at the most beautiful stroke, but also the hardest stroke, and that is butterfly. Why is it so hard? Because it requires the whole body to use every single muscle in order to perform the stroke itself. Butterflyers usually have an extremely strong core, crucial in undulation in the dolphin kick motion, and also they seem to have the broadest shoulders of all. Really big shoulders, extra long arms, and for some reason, surprisingly short legs. This combination right here makes an elite butterflyer. And who's the most elite butterflyer of all? Yes, Michael Phelps. He has exactly this combo. Extremely long arms, long torso, and shorter legs. And that's why next, I want to talk about him specifically. Michael Phelps is a rare case. He's somebody that actually uniquely fits almost all four of the strokes. His height is 6'4", his arm span is 6'7", but his legs are for somebody who's the height of around 6 foot. His torso is said to be for the height of somebody who is 6'8", and his size 14 shoe aids him in that flipper-like motion. Michael Phelps has held world records in 3 of the 4 strokes. The only stroke that he didn't hold a world record in was breaststroke. And breaststroke, as we discussed at the beginning, requires that unique ability with the knees to be able to excel at that. Now, Michael had an elite level breaststroke, no doubt about that. That's why he had world records in the IMs. That's where you swim all 4 strokes, but he just couldn't excel in breaststroke alone because yes, he didn't possess that natural extreme knee bend in with the toes going out. So anyways, that's Michael Phelps and why he was so elite at swimming. So what's my analysis of my own body when it comes to swimming? Well, I am 6'2", so a little bit on the taller side. Before I was a triathlete and focused on running and cycling more, I did have broader shoulders, which did aid me in butterfly. So that was exactly what I did. I swam butterfly and I swam freestyle, my 2 events. I have a slightly longer torso, which aids me in those 2 strokes. I have slightly longer arms, which that is beneficial as well. But my negatives is that I have very average size hands and average size feet. Now, Ryan Lochte, who is an Olympic legend, he's also my height. He's 6'2", but his shoe size is a 14, whereas my shoe size is just a 10.5. So what are you gonna do? But nonetheless, I love swimming. I'm passionate about swimming. And if I was more talented at it, I would have tried to take it as far as I could go. But I'm not, and I had to accept that, and I went the triathlon route, which was exhilarating, and I love that as well. And guys, if you want to know your true swim potential in this moment, I want you to take my quiz and we'll give you a score to let you know. Look in the comments below, click the link and find out. Now, if you don't possess some of those traits in each of those 4 strokes and you want to pursue those, don't let that stop you. You can train and morph your body into what it needs to be. The point of this video is simply to show you certain traits that if you possess them naturally, why not lean into those and gain an edge on your competition? Now, if you want to see some of the worst mistakes in freestyle that swimmers make, check out this video. And until next time, I'm Lukas Siska. Take care.